Hi everyone, this is Yash here. Welcome to the Dapp Library. This is a very special episode of Dapp Library because this also marks the 25th episode, and it's the longest weekly running episode of Shardeum. So that's what it's all about. We try to introduce as much as Dapps who are building on top of Shardium. Uh, One of such dApps is Plena Finance. I hope, Sparsh, I am pronouncing Plena correctly. If I'm not, please
Uh,
correct me. So, yeah, Sparsh, please go on, introduce yourself, and tell us how's the weather, what's happening, and everything about yourself.
yeah, thanks for having me here, first of all. And yeah, you pronounce it right. A lot of, excuse me, yeah, a lot of people mispronounce it. They usually say Piena instead of Plena. So that's it. And about me, I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Plena Finance. And currently, I'm in Delhi, India, and the weather is great.
Oh, the weather here is super hot. I'm in Pune, and we are just surviving right now. Um, but I think it's great that you're here. We'd definitely like to know what exactly is Plena. So I think maybe you can start with what exactly is Plena, and then I read that you also have something called account abstraction. So maybe throw some light on that as well, and yeah, please go ahead.
Sure. So, guys, if I have to tell you about Plena, right, and you already said account abstraction. So, if you guys have been following account abstraction, which is quite trending right now in Web3 community, so we have been using the same technology for past 2 years, and it only became popular 6 months ago. So, like Plena was the first mobile application to use account abstraction to simplify the user experience for the users. And the reason we built Plena was of the complex user experience of the tabs. And let me tell you why it's quite complex, right? Because the users have to learn a lot of things when they have to interact with any tab. If I talk about AI or let's say any Web2 app as well, you don't have to learn anything. If you want to use, let's say, Gmail, you don't have to learn how SMTP works, which is the underlying protocol for mailing service, right? And if I have to talk about AI as well, I think a lot of people who are here today would have used ChatGPT as well, and they were easily able to use that, right? They just entered what they wanted to ask the AI, and it was responding, and the UI and the UX were pretty seamless. But in Web3 dApps, users have to learn a lot of things like how the blockchain technology works, why they need to buy multiple blockchain tokens or native tokens, and why do they need to do multiple transactions. If I have to perform a really simple transaction where, let's say, if I want to transfer you some USDT, right? Yes. So first of all, I would be a bit scared because when I open my MetaMask, I won't be able to see my USDT there until I add that token to the MetaMask. Then on top of that, if I have to transfer it to you on Shardium, I would have to buy a Shardium token in addition to the USDT token to pay for the transaction fees. And let's say if I want to buy a Bitcoin, it's quite confusing. So that's why we built Plena. And Plena actually solves all of these things. We made it look like the users are using a centralized exchange, and but they still get full custody of their funds. So that's how it works. And yeah, I would suggest all of the guys who are here to just try it out and let us know how you what do you think about the application.
Definitely after this session, I'll also go and I'll also try how Plena works. Will definitely let you folks know about the experience. But coming to who is building Plena. So tell us about the team who's building Plena. Tell us about the folks who are involved with you folks. So yeah, please go ahead.
Sure. The co-founders are me, like I'm my brother, right? We built the application. We're both from tech background. And talking about myself, I built the smart contracts in the backend for Plena. I have been in the blockchain industry for almost half a decade, and like I have worked with some really amazing projects like EasyFi, CoinFox, which touched a market cap of $500 million in just a few months. And talking about Yash, so Yash is a full stack developer, and he has worked in some unicorn startups, and he was a senior developer there, so he was handling a team of close to 10 people and developing their application. Now, talking about marketing, Sayaj and Tushant have been handling marketing, and they have been doing a pretty amazing job. Like in the last 3 weeks alone, we did close to 60 partnerships, and more than 60 dApps have now integrated Plena Connect. I'll tell you more about it. And yeah, they have previously done videos, XWAP, and Pandora Protocol.
Sounds interesting. I can see Tushant here as well in the audience. So I think we should move ahead, and so this is something I think you already answered, but I'd like to ask you once again, and so this is about why exactly is Plena needed? Because there are so many other wallets out there in the market. So what makes Plena apart from other wallets out there?
Yeah, I completely agree. There are a lot of other wallets in the industry, right? But I was just going through recent stats, and the problem is none of the users who have invested in crypto want to use these self-custodial wallets. Like, mm, I think even after FTX crash, the stats that I went through on Reddit, it was saying that 99% of the users still have their funds on centralized exchange, even after knowing that their funds are not safe and those exchanges are insolvent. Because they, even after knowing that, yeah, there's another approach where they get full custody of the funds, but they don't know how to use it. So, like, even when I shared this application with Nishchal, right, when I met him, I showed him the application. He was quite confused. He thought that it's a centralized exchange. And that's what we're doing. So we're solving the problem and we're simplifying the user experience for the user so that they can get complete custody of their funds and yeah, they stop thinking that crypto is a scam. Because a lot of time what happens is a lot of users lose their funds on centralized exchanges and they aren't able to get those back. Like what happened with FTX. FTX might be able to refund them, but a lot of other exchanges won't be. They're funding them the token that they have or the crypto that they had. And if they move their funds to self-custodial wallet like Plena, they could keep their funds safe and also interact with Web3 apps with ease without having to learn anything new about the blockchain technology.
I completely agree with you here because I have been in this space for almost 4 years now, and I still, don't really use. Uh, I mean, I'm not someone who uses on chain or who stores funds on chain. I mean, most of my funds are still stored on some centralized exchanges. So completely agree. This is all because of trust. This is all because of the user experience that we have. um, it's quite complex right now, so definitely that makes sense. Coming to one question, and I think it's been a few weeks since Plena has formed a partnership or an association with Shardeum. So how has this been so far? How has been the community? How has been the response? Please tell us about that.
Sure. So, like it has been amazing. Shardeum has been helping us out a lot. Even Nishchal, like we are now talking to a lot of Shardian projects that Nishchal connected us to. And like when we were deploying contracts on Shardian, and I think Greg helped us a lot. And yeah, I would say it has been pretty amazing. Now we're just waiting for the mainnet launch so that we could launch our application there, and other dApps could also start using our services.
Sounds interesting. Want to know how many chains are you currently live on, or you folks are still on testnet at the moment?
No, so like Plena is live on 4 chains: Phantom, Polygon, Avalanche Chain, and Binance Smart Chain. And once mainnet is launched for sharding, we would be integrating sharding as well. And we were not live on any testnet; everything's on mainnet.
Got it, got it. Any growth strategies that you'd like to share? I went through Plena's Twitter. I saw a lot of followers there. So how what exactly is the growth strategy, and how are you folks growing your community and bringing more and more users to Plena?
I would say in the beginning, it was all about innovation. The features that we were launching, no one had launched them before. In a self-custodial wallet, we got a lot of users from there. And like currently, we have close to 150,000 users now. And if I talk about our marketing strategy now, right, on Shardium, like what we would be doing on Shardium, it's that we would be like we're partnering with a lot of Shardium dApps and asking them to integrate our account abstraction SDK, Plena Connect, which is super easy to integrate. They don't have to make changes to their smart contract, unlike other account abstraction SDK out there. So once these dApps integrate our SDK, right, we would be doing some marketing campaigns with them. We would be educating our users about their product, and their users would also join in for, let's say, some Discord spaces or Twitter spaces, and they could actually see how easy it is to use their dApp now. And once this is done, I don't think a lot of users who have been using their application would go back to using MetaMask once they try out our application.
Sounds interesting. I want to know what's your thought about attending events and growing word of Plena on the IRL events, which are the buzzwords right now these days.
I would say it's a really great place to for partnerships, right? You meet a lot of projects there. But in terms of user growth, I think the best way would be social media marketing mainly.
Got it, got it. So, as you mentioned, account abstraction, would like to get into the depth there. But before that, also, I want to understand, what should people look for? Uh, is there something exciting that that's coming at Plena? So maybe you can throw some lights on that.
Mhm. Uh, so unfortunately, I won't be able to share everything. But yeah, I think we would be making the announcement tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I'll just give you a small info of what we're doing. So we already simplified the user experience for the users and how they interact with different dApps, right? Now we are simplifying the crypto investment process for the users. So whoever is new into crypto, they would be so that it's easier for them to invest in crypto and to, let's say, if they want to sell their crypto as well and move their funds from our application to their bank accounts. We're simplifying the whole process.
So that's an alpha. Tomorrow there's an announcement. Cool. We'll be looking forward to that. But now I think we've talked enough. Maybe how about you share your screen, you take us through Plena, and give us a small demo.
Sure. So let me just. So guys, is my screen visible now?
Yes, it is. Please go ahead.
Cool. Okay. So guys, as you can see, this is my wallet. The UI is much better. It's just a test flight version. So if I have to show you the application, right? So as you can see, I don't have any. I'm currently on Polygon, and I don't have any Matic on my wallet, right? And the UI looks completely like a centralized exchange. You can find the trending tokens here, top gainers, top losers. If you want to buy any token, you can search it here on these chains or on all networks. And even if you don't see the token that you want to buy here, you can just paste the address here, and you would be able to get the best exchange rate for that token as well. Now, let's say if I want to buy Bitcoin, right? I go here, I can simply see the chart here for the past 30 days. And let's say if I want to buy it from USDT, right? So I get the best exchange rate here. And so I'm able to pay the transaction fee in USDT, just like it happens on Binance. And instead of doing two transactions, I would be able to do that in one single tap. And I don't even have to select gas price or know anything about blockchain. So the transaction went through directly on blockchain. And so let's view it here. I think it will take a few seconds. So the transaction was already confirmed. It just takes time to wait on Polygon. So as you can see, I just bought Bitcoin, and like I can do some really complex transactions as well. So just one second. Good. So I have Bitcoin here. Now let's say if I want to provide liquidity to the stablecoin pool, right? I see that I'm getting close to 5.5% API on this pool, right? And if I want to invest in this pool, so what I can do is I can use my wrap Bitcoin. I don't have any of those tokens. I can use my wrap Bitcoin to provide liquidity and earn this much interest per year. So if I was using MetaMask, right, it would have been super complex. I would have to swap first 50% of my Bitcoin to USDC, 50% to USDT, then provide liquidity to the DEX, which in total is close to 7 transactions. And it's not like I can send those 7 transactions at once, right? I would have to wait for the first transaction to go through, then only I can send the second one, and wait for the second one, then only I can send this third one once it's confirmed, and so on. But on our application, everything gets done in one single tap, and I pay the transaction fee on Polygon with Wrap Bitcoin. And yeah, I would suggest a lot of users to try it out. The users can get a lot, I would say, a lot more APY on these LP pools in comparison to lending protocols like Aave. The reason a lot of people don't use it, it's because it's super complex to use, right? No one wants to do 7 to 8 transactions uh, for getting this much API. And so, yeah. And on this transaction, I also saved 30% on the transaction fee as well because we've had so many transactions. Our contracts save you 30% on gas fee as well. And now, if I have to go to other features, users can buy crypto with just 100 rupees in India. That's close to $1.2 or $1.1. And we have Plena Connect, our own account abstraction SDK. And if users want to bridge their funds from, let's say, Polygon trading like PSC, right? They can simply transfer it to their Plena account. And it would be similar for Shardeum as well. So they would be able to move their funds from Polygon or any other chain to chains like Shardeum. And if they want to move their funds back from Shardeum to any other chain, they could do it here as well. Cool. So Yash and guys, do you have any questions regarding that?
Sounds interesting. I mean, so I have been, when you started sharing, and as you mentioned, this looks like a centralized exchange. It does. It actually looks better, and I have been a huge advocate of consumer-centric dApps which try to onboard more and more consumers. So definitely looking forward to Plena. Uh, since we've gone through demo, just one more question that I wanted to ask you, and as you mentioned, you are already live on a few chains. So how excited and prepared are you folks for Shardium mainnet?
I would say super excited. Like when I talked to Nishal, all of the things that Shardeum is doing, right? If you see on Plena as well, we've only added blockchains which are super fast, which has a fast block time and are, I would say, have low transaction fees, right? And but the problem with these blockchains is when the network is busy, the gas price actually increases on these blockchains as well, and that's one of the problems that Shardeum is solving, along with I would say much higher throughput. So pretty excited for Shardeum, and we've already deployed a contract on the beta net. We've tested it out. So once the mainnet is live, we would be deploying the contracts on mainnet as well. And I think our application will be live on the mainnet within 1 week after the launch.
Somebody just said the bridging was awesome. Indeed, it was. Uh,
Thanks.
so okay, just one more, and this is like a personal question that I always ask to the people who join Dapp library. Uh, so we are live on our beta nets. It's called Shardium Spinks. Have you run your own node? Because what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to make accessibility of running a node easy for everybody. So anybody can run a node, and yeah, let us know if you have tried running a node.
Yeah, that's what I love about Sharding. Like, I would say it will be even more decentralized than other blockchains out there. And unfortunately, I haven't. But someone from my tech team did, and they said it was pretty easy. They didn't have any problem with the while setting up the nodes. So yeah, that's it.
Sounds interesting. Maybe so what we do is we run a weekly show called Anyone Can Run a Node, where we call non-tech folks, we call tech folks who have never run a node on Shardium, and we do it live where they run a node. So maybe you can be one of our guests, moving forward, and you can run
Sure,
your own node. So
definitely.
so it's interesting. People follow, and people also run their node along with the guests. So it's pretty interesting. However, I think that that's pretty much it from my end. If you have anything that you'd like to add, Sparsh, before we conclude
Mm.
this, please go forward. I'll mute myself.
Oh, yeah, sure. I think I would just suggest all of the users, all of the guys who are here, so to move their funds off centralized exchanges, and the bull run is coming. So it's better to move your funds to a self-custodial wallet. And Plena, I think, is once you try it out, I don't think you will be moving your funds from Plena. I haven't since I downloaded it, since I started using it. So yeah, just try it out. And we have a referral program as well ongoing on our application where users can earn up to $1 million worth of Plena, and you guys can get those tokens at the time of TG. So you guys can make a lot of money before that.
Sounds interesting. I'll be one of them for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Sparsh, for joining, and thank you everybody who listened to us. That's pretty much it. Uh, Please tune in next week as well, and see you till then. Bye bye. Have a great day, everyone.